Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast. I fucking fucked up. I forgot the name of the show. I forgot the name of the show. Shit. I was like,
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before.
Nonsense. Talking nonsense. Why should we accept somebody talking nonsense? Like, what would you say? Just why are you talking nonsense about us? Why are you talking rubbish?
We forgot the gradual intro of being like, oh, I'll just do it now, sure.
Yeah, hey, just do it now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with your hosts, as always, Cathal and Will. How are you, Will?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good to be back in the booth, back in the lab,
back in the virtual studio.
Yeah, via Zoom, of course. Always adhering. I've adhered to so many rules over the last year. Taking on to say it. We're good boys in this podcast. We play by the rules. Yeah, we are. This is technically the fourth time we recorded this.
Not technically, it is.
Well, I say technically because it won't be released. No,
yeah,
it probably won't be heard.
Well, maybe on the Patreon down the line when we've reached.
Oh, down the line, if the hidden episodes, that kind of thing. But we were struggling. Well, I was struggling more so than Will, but I was struggling with some hardware issues. I was trying to use my laptop mic, and it was. A few people heard it, and it was described as it's like I was outside the window shouting in,
like you were screaming from a different room in the house.
Yeah, trapped in an old analog TV, all static and stuff. I was trying to get out.
I like that your hardware issue was that you did not have the hardware.
Yeah, well, my laptop is probably a good few years past its best, and it was never probably made to record stuff with it. So, we're giving this a proper go now. This is episode 1. It's a football podcast first and foremost. We keep up to date with the general goings on. Important to just get right off the bat and say we don't know anything about anything.
No,
really.
Very little, especially football, to be honest.
Yeah, but we thought this is the closest thing we have to some kind of knowledge because we watch the game sometimes.
Yeah, and I can't just do a podcast about nothing. That would be impossible. Every episode would be a disaster.
We're not famous enough for that.
No,
first of all,
that's off the back of this podcast.
When we become famous of this, then we'll just do a lifestyle podcast.
Kick this to the curb. Never watch football again.
No. Like you say, we're not journalists. We're not ex-pros, believe it or not. Very little playing experience. We are just lads who watch football sometimes. I am an Arsenal fan, mainly. My brother really is a big Arsenal fan in the house, and he's kind of just like a virus, which is probably in poor taste these days. But we're all Arsenal fans on the back of him, and I do like to play fancy Premier League football as well, which forces me to keep up to date with injuries. Mainly, it's mainly injuries. I mean, I was going to say, what do I know from football? Who's injured? That's all you need to know.
It's injuries, and you learn about one new player a year,
and who takes penalties for the club.
Who takes penalties? That's something you learn. Which keeper plays every single game, but doesn't get any points.
Which 5 million midfielder?
Yeah,
gets the least yellow cards.
What a stupid game.
I would introduce you as a long-suffering United fan, but I don't think you've earned that yet.
No, I'm. It's been like 7 or 8 years of suffering, but it's definitely more good than bad still. That hasn't flipped yet.
Is it 10 years is probably the statute of limitations? I'd say 10 years between and 10 years of winning nothing, not winning Europa Leagues, by the way.
I've won an FA Cup, won a League Cup.
You can't still win major trophies and say you're long suffering.
Won a league in 2013, was it? Like that's not long ago.
Yeah, if you only win FA Cup like Arsenal, that you slowly begin to qualify again because it just becomes so meaningless, and it's
flips. Yeah, but it's weird because if you don't win anything for a long time and then you win an FA Cup, you're not long suffering anymore. That's a big deal. Or if you win a League Cup after not winning anything ever, unreal. You'd be buzzing.
Yeah, it's almost like an unwritten rule for managers. If you win the FA Cup, you can't be sacked. Like they try and win the cups. Like gotcha.
That's not for Louis van Gaal, who found out he was sacked while walking up to the trophy thing, I think.
He's got a text in his pocket.
You're out, mate. See you later.
So it is, you might think, why he's starting a Premier League podcast or a football podcast when the Premier League is all but over. We did start at the January deadline day. That was the initial plan. The microphone was still in the post. So
it was coming the next day.
It was meant to come the next day. That's why we all planned it around. That was a good episode too. You can't hear us. Well, you can't hear me.
Well, you can. You just have to try really hard.
Yeah, you have to. Look, we might release it. Who knows? Maybe this is a pointless bit of introduction. This might all get cut. This might die on the cutting room floor.
Maybe we'll play it live over the speakers when we're in Wembley.
Oh, yes.
Sold out.
I don't think there's ever been a podcast that's played at Wembley, to be honest. So we're not even getting ahead of ourselves. We're delusional. We're totally in dreamland there.
Hello, Wembley. Who saw the match?
I was just over in Wales. Boo! I couldn't think of the way to say it. What's it? The Cardiff Stadium? Stadium of Light? No.
Millennium Stadium.
The Millennium Stadium. I was just over there at the Millennium Stadium. Those guys suck. Yeah, but we said we'd push on anyways because we are in the depths of a level 5 lockdown. So why not?
A nice excuse to talk to each other.
Yeah.
We're not too concerned about the rest of you.
No, this is a scheduled conversation. As men that we can't just do. We have to have a reason to do it. The podcast is good, isn't it?
Imagine just calling each other.
No. Well, I mean, joke aside, if I say, oh, what's the crack? You go, none. Same as the last 3 days you rang me. Yeah, no. Me neither. Did you see football?
See football.
No, I didn't see football either.
We basically got to that level of see football and we were like, what if we put this out to the world to hear?
What if we did see the football for once? And I will say, just for context, it is Wednesday the 17th of February at 9:00. There's Champions League games going on now. There's also Premier League games going on as well. I think there's
Burnley are playing Fulham at the same time as Dortmund are playing someone. I don't know why that's happening.
And City are playing. Are City playing? Or are they tomorrow night? Or what's going on?
City are playing Everton tonight.
Yeah,
which I don't know why that's happening. I never thought of that.
The point is that there's games coming thick and fast.
Literally hard to keep up with.
It's you can't watch them all at the same time. So we're just going to start off with the Premier League games that happened at the weekend. I suppose they were kind of important to really hammer home that Liverpool are not going to retain the title this year. 3-1 to Leicester.
They're way off.
And Liverpool went ahead in that game, didn't they?
Yeah, and they conceded 3 goals in like 5 minutes. Alisson was back at it again.
Oh, yeah.
So weird. I don't know what's up with him.
Well, this is the thing. Like, obviously, Van Dijk is like, really good as a defender. He's 6'4", light and fast, and great positional sense. But like, it's when they're a goal up, and they concede a shitty goal from a free kick. James Maddison's one, and then you go, oh fuck. We needed to win this game. If have any chance. If we draw this, it's as good as a loss. And the heads literally just, we're going to lose this now. And Leicester can sense that and they go, oh, fuck, these guys are on the ropes here. That's why you need Van Dijk. That's why they miss Van Dijk to say, all right, look, we've conceded goals before. This is nothing new. And you tie it down, you go on to win 2-1. But they just totally crumbled. Totally imploded.
They crumbled instantly. Everyone just started freaking out. The poor Turkish wall at the back.
Oh, the Turkish wall, he lost his fucking block.
Good joke.
Yeah, I was ham-fisted. But not as ham-fisted. Oh, see that segue? Not as ham-fisted as Alisson coming out. And it's one of those ones where there must have been a shout that wasn't heard or that wasn't made. Because he came out and collided with Ozan Kabak.
He looked like he slipped on a banana peel.
Yeah.
He went foot overhead.
Totally missed it. Totally whiffed it. And Vardy just dribbled the ball in and knocked home. And that's like 2-1. Then they're like, oh, here we go.
Oh, now we're really...
Whatever, bro, drawing, losing is way worse. You can see it. You can see the way they're playing. Like, this is not going to go well. And then it was 3-1. And it's getting to the point now where it's like, will Liverpool make top 4 even? Which is mad.
West Ham are still up there. Like, they're not falling off at all. So, like, when they're on your heels and then Everton are on their heels as well, like,
And Chelsea are making a comeback for fourth.
Chelsea have been savage since. Well, I don't think Chelsea have lost since Tuchel have come in, have they?
No, they haven't lost the game. So they can't really afford to lose anymore because there's too many good teams around them that will take the top four off them.
Yeah.
For Leicester, they are actually the team who are still in the race, if anybody is. For the top four, which I know you're on the same points as United, less goal difference, but United are so up and down.
Yeah, you can't rely on but it's just been that way for, it seems like, since Moyes, where it's just like win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens. Like, because different players, it's just never left.
The Ollie out stuff on Twitter is becoming a bit of a parody of itself. Like every time they lose, it comes back up. Like it loses all meaning. It's like, oh yeah, Ollie out again. It's like you can't go on a 6-game win and say nothing. And then when they lose, they go, I knew we were bad. It's like, well, you weren't saying it before. Like, I mean, you can't just start saying it again.
I would say, though, if you, if you hated him from the start, that's probably so frustrating because as soon as it looks like he's about to go, they go on a crazy run. And then he's like, okay, maybe he's all right. And then they fucking shit the bed again, for weeks. And then it's just over and over.
That was a brutal game as well, the West Brom United game. Dear God.
Oh, man, so bad. So bad.
When it started off.
Worse than, I don't know if it was worse than the West Ham one. Was it? Remember the FA Cup one before it?
Oh, Jesus. That was, we'll talk about the FA Cup as well because when we talk about Tottenham City, because that plays into that. But the United West Brom game, it was like watching Ireland when we scored too early. And you're like, you're happy we scored, but this game is going to be the worst game you've seen yet from Ireland because when they scored early like that and it was a scrappy goalie, he really, I don't know what the
should have been a foul, I'd assume.
I don't know what the rules are. Genuinely.
They're so confusing.
I watch a game and I see that where he has his hand kind of over him and kind of paws his face a bit.
Yeah.
And he gets the goal. And it happens fast. Like, oh shit, there's a goal there. No one kind of saw it coming. And then you go to the replay and they go, yeah, I mean, look, he's just got to do better. He's got to be stronger than that. It's like,
but that feels like it's just because he has a history of being a bit weak. That you're like, oh, yeah, he should be stronger. And the same thing happens to De Gea, I feel as well, where he'll get smashed around the box in a corner, and people are like, well, sure, you should do better. But you're not allowed. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, well, that's it. Usually you're not allowed. 9 out of 10, he does that. If he does that, and the ball kind of lands at, say, I'm blanking on it.
It was Lindelof.
Couldn't fucking remember his name.
And in the new West Brom lad.
The new West Brom, the Mbappe, Idaye,
I think, yeah.
Idaye, something like that. But if say that ball lands at Ndaye's feet or lands at Lindelof's feet,
and he does the paw,
but while he's doing the paw, it's a free out probably. But because he gets headed first time, it's like the 5-second rule.
But also, I think if Lindelof did the paw to him, it's a penalty. Dragged him down with his hand on his face.
Well, again, if Lindelof does the paw to him and he heads out first time, the ref's like, go on, play on. But if it falls down and they're both trying to kick the ball and and one of them's pawing over each other, it's a free. I just don't understand is there context to the rules or what? Because sometimes I watch the game and I'm just like, oh, that's a different foul, and all the pundits are like, nah, not for me, not for me. I'm like, all right, I guess if it's not for you, then that's the rule.
It feels like that's really an issue in the Premier League, especially where it's like no one ever agrees on the fouls. Seems like that should be clear cut. This is a foul.
It's so
stupid.
That's the problem with VAR. Because it's before they started using it, after a game or a halftime or whatever, they would show the line in the sand on the pitch, and they say, "Is that offside for you, Graham?" No, not for me. Redknapp, Jim Redknapp? Yeah, no, I think it is. All right, moving on. It's except the referees have to make a decision. They can't just say, yeah, it could be not. Anyways, let's move on. It's but you have to make a decision.
And if they make the wrong decision, they'll be getting a fucking bullet in the post or whatever at the moment.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, but you know what I mean? There's no... First, I would say that was a free out. Other people would say it wasn't. And when you're just discussing in the pub or whatever, remember pubs, eh? Right? Remember them? What? If I hear a fucking joke one more time, oh my God. Oh, remember offices? A place we used to go to work, remember that? Huh? Oh, Jesus Christ. Everyone's become a dad overnight, these shite jokes. But say we're having a chat and we're like, oh, I was a death penalty. No, it wasn't, man. But like in other sports, it's like it's much more clear cut.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of, I don't know, something that's like very like cricket, like if it hits the bat or whatever.
You picked a bad sport.
I can't. I don't even know cricket.
Yeah,
but like
you
something
picked
like
the only sport you don't know the rules to.
the only sport. That's being generous.
Well, like in NFL or in basketball, everything's pretty clear.
In rugby, is pretty clear too.
Rugby, yeah, and like they've mic'd up the refs. That makes sense.
Yeah, the refs like let go of the ball. I can see you. Let go of the ball. And then when they get a free, it's like, yeah, you got a free against you because you didn't let go of the ball.
But did you ever see that video where they mic'd up the ref for like an Arsenal game, I think in like the 90s to like test it out, but they had to stop because the whole game on telly was just the players being like, "Oh fuck you, ref! Go fuck yourself, ref."
They do that though. Like you see them on thing, and like they turn like, "Oh fuck off!" Like he was like right in his face, shouting and screaming to fuck off. It's like the refs do take some abuse from players.
Did you see the Ipswich ref today, or the ref in the Ipswich game?
No.
So there was like a foul, and the player got a bit snappy at the ref. And the ref, who's taller than the player, walked up and like squared up to him, like they butt heads, and then he gave him a yellow card.
Nice.
Yeah, he
power move.
Suckered him in. You're not allowed to touch me.
Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Yeah, imagine if that reference was mic'd up, he'd be fucking done. But yeah, that United game. It was a 1-1 board draw, and it effectively ends United's challenge as well because they really need to win that one to put pressure on City, who just keep winning games. They won 16 games in a row, 15.
They won the most games in a row in English top flight history.
Damn.
Yeah, because I was looking it up because I was like, that seems like a low number for some reason. Like surely someone in the 1800s won 40 games in a row or something. But
as you know, football started in 1992.
Oh yeah,
so
of course.
1800s is relevant.
Because I think the record before was United in 2000 won 11 in a row.
Yeah,
but
fuck.
That's so. I would have thought like the 08 team would have done better than that, but apparently not.
Yeah, no, like you do kind of think of great teams. I don't know. I think maybe it's the fans that you don't think of this team as a great team because like the great moments, the great goals.
Yeah.
It's just like Martin Tyler, like begrudgingly, like, oh, and a great goal by Gundogan. Delighted for the fucker. there's no cheering. There's no like, oh my god.
Yeah, there's no moments.
It's just the moment. Exactly. There's no moments.
Yeah.
There's no like standout moments. There's great goals. There's still great goals, but it's just there's no atmosphere. There's no. So like Man City are like sleepwalking the way to being the greatest team ever, and no one even gives a fuck. And it's just. It is mad.
I feel like that happens with City though as well, where like when City win the league, it's very much like and then it's gone, it's over. People don't really think of it because you don't really know much City fans. Like, well, in Ireland anyway. Like,
in Ireland, there's definitely not. There's people who are United fans since they were children in the 90s and all through the 2000s. There's people who were Liverpool fans through probably their dad or uncle.
Yeah.
And then there's those lads who were watching them in the 80s.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's a few Arsenal fans about as well.
A few Leeds fans.
Chelsea fans.
You see Leeds pop up now and again.
But it's mainly United Liverpool because they were the two. I was actually looking up the other day, like just for facts, stats and facts.
Is this your stat of the week?
Not of the week because it's not a weekly. It's not news per se. But I was just thinking. Like this is, you would say like the rivalry at the moment is between like City and Liverpool, but it was always between United before.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you again started the Premier League when football began or whatever, like it was briefly between United and Blackburn.
Yeah, United Newcastle for a bit.
United Newcastle for like a couple seasons each. Then it was like maybe 97, 2005 was Arsenal United. Yeah. Then it was Chelsea United. Then it was City United towards the end, where United won, City won, then United won again, and then Ferguson retired, and United haven't been there since. I was looking up. You kind of think of, it's a rivalry. I was thinking the same thing because this City rivalry. It's like it's not a rivalry if City win most of the games. If City have won 3 or 4 against Liverpool, and Liverpool won this one.
Yeah.
But United, in all their little rivalries, they never let go of the season for more than 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I think
like say if Arsenal won, they would win it back.
Yeah.
The only time was 04, 05, or 5 or 6 against Chelsea. No other team won 2 in a row during Ferguson's reign.
Fergie would have won, I think it's 7 in a row. But the 2 leagues he missed out on were, one was goal difference and the other one he missed out on by a point. That's how close he was to winning 7 or 6 in a row, something like that. He's a freak.
Yeah.
That's mental.
But it does kind of tie in where, like, we kind of think, that 08 team, that Chelsea, they were amazing teams. Like, so much of it is to do with, like, the fans and TV moments where you kind of think these teams are great. And, like, you think, the rivalries in Arsenal United. It's like United won most of them. United won most of their rivalries.
Yeah.
But, if you're Sky or whatever, you want to show that it's a back and forth, and maybe usually it isn't.
Yeah.
And this City versus Liverpool one, it does lack maybe the fans here for us, but just this year and last year especially, it's just such an anti-climax every year. It's like, I don't care who wins the Premier League. I want to go outside.
I haven't seen my friends in a year.
Like it lacks something that it's just. I guess this is a rivalry, but who cares? I mean,
yeah,
it's. But yeah, they did march on to another league against Tottenham. There, they won 3-0, and you did feel bad for Tottenham because they were off the back of one of the greatest FA Cup games I've seen in a long time.
Unbelievable. It was so good.
But they got sucked into it.
Yeah.
Like they were saying, look, we're not going to play Kane and Son because we want to get this top 4. And I think it was 3-2 or 3-3. And the game was like, the game is there for taking. Bring on Kane and Son, we can win this. I mean, fuck, it's a cup at the end of the day. Like, and it went to extra time, and they both ended up playing 90 minutes. The entire team played at least 90 minutes. And they lost. They lost to a 5-4 thriller.
How much do you think Mourinho hated that game? I conceded 5 goals.
Yeah, and you knew he was like, no, I said I'm not going to play the big players because we have City at the fucking weekend and we don't want to get hammered by them. Yeah. And then he ended up doing it anyways. Yeah. And City won 3-0.
Hammered them, man.
Tottenham looked like a spent force, like they really did. But that's the kind of luck you need when you're winning the league as well, that you play a team on the back of a 5-4 loss, a demoralising loss.
100%.
A great week for you in fantasy. Made a Gundogan triple captain.
Yeah, but he got fucking injured, and now he's not playing the second game. I could have got like 100 points off him. I was right agent.
Yeah, I made him captain. I went for bench boost instead, which is a bad decision because most of my bench didn't play. But fuck, I'm still fighting for this title, Will.
Right? I don't know. I'm
still fighting for this title.
I'm sitting in it at the moment. I think I'm smashing the league.
Yeah, I am kind of Liverpool, falling further and further into obscurity here. Is it a rivalry between us, Will, if I won 1 out of the last 5 years? Who knows? Sky Premier Leaguers will tell the real tale.
I think you're like the Man United, and now I've become like the Jose Chelsea of just like smash, win the league, bang, bang, bang.
I'm a former team reminiscing of its former glory.
You're thinking about fucking Van der Vaart and stuff.
Van der Vaart. He was a fantasy legend.
Facebook, Yahoo fantasy legend.
Oh, one of those players that you had to have. Yeah. Like everyone had him, so it didn't make a difference. But if you didn't have him, you were down 2 goals and assists every week. So, you have to have him.
Sigurdsson was like that as well when he was at Swansea.
Sigurdsson, yeah. Those ones are the worst. The ones that you're like,
it can't go on forever.
How long can he go on scoring goals for Swansea? No chance that Wilfred Boney going to end up the season with 15 goals. And sure enough, you've lost out multiple points. We should probably have a dedicated fantasy corner because I know it bores a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe the last 5 minutes.
So they can skip it at the end. Yeah.
That's a good show.
So, that was City, Tottenham. Crystal Palace, Burnley. If anybody following Burnley recently, following the unraveling seemingly of Sean Dyche, but he's doing something right, Will.
Man, Sean Dyche is a genius. I love him. He plays bad football, he wins games, and he loves lookalikes. What else do you need?
Yeah, anybody who hasn't seen that lookalikes bizarre interview, a real kind of, is anybody even watching this show?
Yeah.
Is anybody even watching the Burnley podcast, a Burnley pre-game? Does anybody care? And he said as much. He's like, you're going to ask me am I playing 4-4-2? I'm going to say yes. I mean, we're Burnley. Of course play 4-4-2. Who gives a fuck? And started going around about looking like he's on holidays and how he thinks he's very funny.
He thinks he's very
funny for not the reasons he thinks he is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But they were playing like fucking Barcelona in their pomp. 3-0 against Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace are a team. Could you imagine supporting them? Because they're a real, like, every week, you don't know what's going to happen. You might win, you might get hammered, you might beat Liverpool. Well,
I can ask you one question. I can tell you what's going to happen. Is Zaha playing or not?
Yeah.
and it's going to be. I just want the flow chart of is Zaha playing? Yes, no, and then it ends up losing the game and winning the game because they rely so much on him, and they have other players like Eze and Townsend, and a lot of strikers like Benteke. They're building a squad. Like you think we're too reliant on Zaha, we should buy more players, and they have, and it just hasn't worked. They just can't win without him.
I think they're kind of damned as well because they can't sell Zaha because United have such a percentage of the sell-on thing. So
Do they?
Yeah, I think United get like, I think it's 30 or 40%, something mad like that. Which means for Palace to make money on him to replace him, they have to sell him for like more money than he's worth. They have to sell him for like 80 million, which is not going to happen. So he's trapped.
Jeez. Well, that's what you get for sleep with the manager's daughter.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
And that's not a rumor. That's confirmed by Patrice Evra on Sky Sports.
He said it on Sky and he laughed about it.
Sky Sports. It's a confirmed source. That's the only one you're going to get in this podcast. Patrice Evra, a man of his word. He said
Friend
it was real.
of the pod.
Friend of the show. Patrice Evra confirms. Yeah, I mean, we don't talk about that anymore because it's probably not true. Well, I think Zaha came out and said it wasn't true, didn't he? He came out and said he shouldn't be saying that. I don't know. It
feels like everyone thought it wasn't true, but then everyone would know if it was true. So it feels like he was there.
Yeah, like it was one of those. It was like what 2013, 2014. It wasn't quite old internet, but it was just before the internet was becoming really mainstream in terms of like that's where people got their football news and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's still like those kind of rampant rumors would come about, where someone would find David Moyes' daughter's Facebook page and go, "Oh yeah, she's savage." You know, I think happened. What do you think happened? I think Zaha slept with her, and David Moyes came home. We found out. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
That's your impression. That's Evra talking there.
No, this is something that did that. He probably worked for like Lad Bible or whatever and posted this. And it just
worked for Lad Bible in 2013 in his house of gold.
Yeah. But if that came out now, like people would just say, "Where's your source?" Whereas, but back then it was like, that sounds believable to me.
Yeah.
But if I was Zaha, I do it, so therefore that must be true. And it just kind of took legs from there. But like in reality, United were just a bit of a mess at the time, and Zaha was a bit inconsistent and a bit young, and he just didn't work out United. But
now he's trapped. Like every summer, it feels like he's like, "Please, I want to go to Arsenal. Like I'm dying to leave here."
Well, if you want someone to pay big money to get you out of your contract, it's not going to be Arsenal. I'm sorry.
No,
you're barking up the wrong tree there, mate.
Go be like, "I want to come back to United." Ed Woodward would eat that up every time. He always does.
Yeah, I mean, or you go to China for a year, and you can't
go to China anymore. China's done.
China's done now, but like a few years ago, that's if you wanted to get out badly, you go to China for a year. Like everyone.
Saudi Arabia is the new one,
and then just go out. You can get those contracts easy.
Yeah, he just be like, "I'm not playing here anymore."
Yeah, and he goes back to fucking I don't know Tottenham, and then he goes to City, something like that. But anyways, 3 great goals for Burnley in that game. I think they're pretty much safe now, Burnley, in the the table for relegation. They've
because they'll always pick up a result against a big team like here and there because they're just so hard to play against. It seems like.
Yeah, I think Fulham are on 19 points and they're on 27, and there's Brighton and Newcastle in between them too. So I mean, I think they're. I was going to say they'll think of the beaches, but of course they're not. They're just going to think of, well, I guess Dubai. They could go to Dubai. Who else do we have playing? Leeds Arsenal. That was a cracking game.
Unreal. Leeds are. We've said it on an unheard podcast before, but Leeds are so fun to watch.
Yeah,
because they're
Leeds are great to watch.
Because they score lots of goals, but they're also a bit shit. So it's perfect.
Yeah, there's no threat of Leeds replacing your team in their position. Yeah, Arsenal. I think 4-0 up.
Definitely 3-0 up. I can't remember.
Definitely 3-0 up, and just decided who needs to defend.
Yeah, sure.
About that shit.
They're not going to score 5 goals.
They fucking almost did. They scored 2, and Bamford was denied a clear penalty in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know it's clear because of the way Cesar was overcompensating, shouting at Bamford's face as if he hadn't like made a beeline towards him and ran sideways into his legs. Said, "Get up out of that! Get up out of here! Dive and ruin this game." You know what I mean? Like it was like a clear like barrel. Yeah, I'm sick of it. Sick of this. It's the Premier League.
I don't know. I still don't know what to make of Arsenal at the moment because it feels like they're turning it around. But
yeah, it's easy to turn around when there's no expectation.
Exactly. Yeah, like if they're turning it around is the games they should be winning anyway. Like
Yeah, like you should like a promoted like Leeds or Leeds, obviously, but in their name and all that. But I mean, it's a promoted championship time, a promoted championship side.
Yeah.
You should be winning that 3-0 and not let them score.
Yeah.
You know, at home. Like I mean, I know there's no crowd there, but like still, it's just like Arsenal are not going to progress past where they are if they just kind of you have a go, we have a go. Same as Leeds. Like, they are a better version of Leeds. They have better players, but you do need to kind of control, like game management is something Arsenal lack. But everyone's just giving Arteta a pass. It's like,
it's so weird. I don't understand it. Like, I don't know why he's getting, like, so many managers would be already gone from where he was at the start of the season. He was so close to the relegation zone for ages. Like,
and it's weird because it's Arsenal who had the most, you know, bizarre fans, like who would blow everything out of proportion, whether it was a win or a loss.
Well, I guess it's because there's no fans there, so the border is like just ride the storm. Like, what's going to happen, really? Like, we're not getting booed.
But like, like there's no one booing the stadium or no one leaving the stadium halfway through. But like, it just seems like they've been broken. The fans have been just like, look, this is this. Like,
this is life now.
We have to accept who we are in this world, and we're a mid-table Premier League team. It's like, all right, fair enough. You can spend, 70 million or however much they're paying Aubameyang to be Premier mid-table, and it's like, is Arteta improving it? Like, he didn't pick them up in relegation.
No, they were doing all right. They got to a Europa League final, didn't they?
They were Europa League level side, and now they're, it's like, but he's bringing players along. I don't know. It does feel like it's one step forward, two steps back a little bit, or at least treading water, not really going anywhere. I don't see a lot of improvement.
Because when Ollie was first at United, that was kind of the case as well. But he had that mental run where he won all the games and beat PSG and all that stuff.
United are second.
Yeah, no,
United are second. That's the thing. Like, you can have good games and bad games and inconsistency, but if you're in the Champions League spots, it's fine.
Yeah, and like last year, before Bruno came, it was like a lot of he's nearly gone. And then they finished the league in third. I don't think that's going to happen with Arsenal. Like, I can't see a rally for the second half of the season.
But that is how Arsenal are kind of treating it. Like, look, we're thereabouts. We need one or two players to get over the line. Like, you're so far away from getting over the line.
Yeah,
it's hard to see how many players you need. Like, it's hard to see who's even good enough. Like, I mean, fair play to the Leeds. They're like I say, great to watch. They'll be fine as well. They're in any danger of relegation.
Yeah, as long as that's the case, good stuff. Keep them in the league forever.
Like I say, as long as Harry Kane is banging goals for England, we get one step closer to Patrick Bamford to put on that
up top
fabled green jersey.
Fabled Gene.
Yeah, fabled Gene. I don't believe this. Like, I don't even believe it. He's never going to play for Ireland. He's never going to play for England either, but he's never going to play for Ireland. Because he's just
going to be too proud.
He's too proud, yeah.
He'd rather take his chances and maybe get one cap for England than play for...
And he's fucking dead right too. I mean, that's, what you should do. But, he'd just be so much better than we have right now.
I don't even know if he would, though. I think it's like... I don't think it matters who we have up top when everyone else is behind you doing the same things.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. You think Arsenal are bad? Check out the Irish squad. Check out the midfielders we have there. Check out fucking the way Doherty is playing these days. Fucking hell. Even our good players are playing badly. Yeah, that was the Arsenal Leeds game. The other game, that man, Sunderland till I die. Not really, but it's Josh Maja. The former Sunderland and Bordeaux man, banging in a brace. Again, I didn't see that game because they're all at the same time, but like, I watched a match today, and Ian Wright was very impressed. They were a good goal though. They were kind of poachers' goals.
Yeah,
especially the second one. It was a speculative effort from distance, and he was the only one looking live. Which is, again, a lot of the goals were scored. Like, obviously there's the highlight goals, but the ones that count are the ones that go in, I suppose. So I mean, he's looking good for them. Do you think he has enough to pull them out of relegation?
I think Fulham might survive it for some reason, but that's not based on anything. It's just what I think they will. But like, it feels like they're getting results every now and then, like enough results to keep a team up. Like, but I don't know. I did see. I've talked to you before about how I love Fulham's owner, Tony Khan, the American.
Oh yeah, big wrestling fan.
Oh, because he owns AEW wrestling company, and he's shocking at social media, just terrible. And I saw he was at it again during the week. Did you see that?
No. What did he post?
Yeah. Someone I think he like congratulated a player for scoring a goal or something like that.
His own player.
For for like Brentford or someone like that. I think it was a Brentford striker scored, and he tweeted him saying like, "Oh, great goal! You've a really good player in your hands, Brentford," or something. And someone commented being like, "Why didn't we buy him then?"
Oh,
like a Fulham fan. And he said, actually, or why didn't you let Parker buy him? I think he said something like that. And he said, actually, I suggested it, and then in brackets, general manager to the manager, that we should purchase him, but blah blah blah, things fell through and all this. But why would you be bringing attention to that? Why would you be like, I wanted him, but our stupid manager did?
Fuck, airing his dirty laundry on Twitter, was it on Instagram, or was it?
Man, he does on Twitter. He does it every few weeks. It was the same during the transfer window. He was saying how desperate Fulham were to sign a defender, but that they couldn't get one because someone fell through and COVID and all this. And all the Fulham fans were like, why are you saying this? Why are you telling all the teams we're desperate to sign someone? We're going to get rinsed.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's funny because, like, that is just a billionaire. He's like, what I do, I'll buy a wrestling company, I'll buy a football club. I don't know how long he's been a billionaire, but I'd say it's a long time since someone told him that you shouldn't do that, or you're not allowed to do that, or that's a bad idea. Surrounded by people who are just like, yep, you do you.
He is in charge of Fulham's transfers, and I don't think he's ever watched football, like it seems.
Well, he suggested a striker scored, like so maybe he knows more than you and me. How about that?
Maybe,
maybe he knows more than we all think that he knows, that you know.
Well, that feels like as well as something like he scores goals. Let's sign him.
Yeah, it's called Moneyball. Look it up.
Someone
goals win games. Games are what we need to win, which means goals.
I think if there were fans, we already would have been at the stage where there would have been some wrestling involved in a Fulham halftime show or something. Jericho maybe kicking the ball, like singing the national anthem or something.
Jericho. I could see Jericho kicking the ball off at Craven College. I could genuinely picture that. He'd be in like a really crusty leather jacket. Like, why is he wearing a leather jacket he got from his first paycheck as a wrestler?
Kicking the ball. Imagine the Prem did that with celebrities like kicking the ball and then having to sprint off the pitch.
I think that has been done, hasn't it? That's been done before.
Other leagues, I remember seeing in the Russian league had a robot kick the ball off.
Oh year.
And like it looked like a man in a robot suit, like badly kicking the ball, and then all the players stood there clapping.
Oh yeah, that'd be sweet if you start doing that. Yeah, so I think Fulham, they're the Great White Hope. Again, in our Premier League prediction / transfer episode, we made some bold claims like City winning the league and Sheffield getting relegated, and I stand by those claims.
Yeah, those are the type of hot takes you all missed out on.
Yeah, get used to us. You can't stand the heat. Get off the pod.
Okay, here's another one, Carl.
Yeah,
I think Man City winning next weekend.
Oh fuck! Who they playing? I don't even know. I think they're playing Arsenal, so that is a hot take, you know. With Arteta at the helm, anything is possible, anything at all, even a win.
With him turning things around very, very slowly,
like a fucking Arctic. Yeah. So we did say though, like just to get back to that first episode, like we did say, I would like to see Fulham get out of it. So not really a prediction, more of a wish, but I do wish that Fulham get out of it, and
I wish. I
just hope all the teams have a great time and they all enjoy themselves and they all get paid, because that's what it's all about in the end. The money.
That's what it's all about.
The cash. Yeah. So Fulham set up. You heard it here first. That's a guarantee.
Guarantee.
That's a new segment called Guarantees. Fulham will stay up in place of probably Newcastle because they keep losing.
Oh, I can't see Newcastle going down.
Newcastle are just...
Your guarantee is wrong.
Well, you can't see Newcastle going down?
No, actually, no. I think they're too big to fail.
Too big to fail. That's exactly what Newcastle did there. They've lost... Yeah, well, they are up and down. They've one lost, one.
I just feel like their team is good enough that they should be able to pull that off. Like
they should.
Like Callum Wilson's good. Fraser's good.
Wilson is good. A bit injury prone.
That's true. Yeah.
If they could get him playing for the rest of the season, then I think they would stay up. But it does all rest on his shoulders a good bit. Because if it's not him, it's Joe Linton, who is so bad.
spoofer.
Like they spent a bit of money on him. Like he wasn't like a.
I think he might have been their record signing. I might be wrong on that.
Yeah, no, I think he's up there. Sam Maxman being back is a huge plus for them. He was missing through injury and then COVID for fucking ages because I haven't fancied and he just was no points.
Because I think he had that little fucking long COVID thing as well, where he like didn't have it anymore, but he was struggling with his fitness and stuff like that.
Yeah, where he fucked you up like big time, like it affects your breathing. So he was out for a long time. He's getting back to fitness now. If they could have him and Wilson playing, I think they would.
That's so much better than everyone else down there. Like just those two.
But that is, I think, what's keeping them down. That those players aren't playing for them. They lost to Chelsea. Timo Werner got a rare goal for Chelsea.
Yeah, he looked so happy. Did you see him smiling? After the kickoff, lovely boy.
yeah, like he's not one of these like ice cold killers. He's a confidence player if ever saw one. He does remind me of Torres when he came.
Yeah, I was going to say the very same thing. Yeah,
because he was.
Hopefully, you can turn it around though. I do like him as well. He seems like a good player.
Well, it seems like I didn't really care either way for Torres when he got to Chelsea. It's kind of like I'm not a Liverpool fan. I don't really care, and it's like this tall, handsome, blonde-headed gold machine.
His life is alright.
I hope things work out for him. It's like I think he's doing all right. But he was he became such a pathetic figure at Chelsea. You couldn't help but have empathy from like, oh man, I hope Torres gets a goal today.
Falcao was the same.
Yeah, I didn't mind Falcao as much because he didn't cut such a puppy dog figure as Torres. Like,
he wasn't like.
And Werner's the same. He just like every miss, he's like, oh no, I meant to kick that in the goal. It's like, all right, relax, man.
Well, that's because it wasn't around when Torres was missing. Twitter. Imagine Werner going online every day.
Well, that's true too, yeah.
I mean, surely he's not on it by now. Surely he's stopped.
Well, the only thing is Torres heard in the stands from both home and opposition fans, whereas Werner is just like missing and probably hears his teammates sighing in dead silence around him.
I think that's worse.
That's way worse, actually. Now that I say it loud, or he just hears his manager in the distance going, fuck!
Fuck's sake.
Fuck!
Oh, Werner.
Get him up! Olivier, warm up. Yeah, you're coming on, place that.
Oh, it'd be even worse if you just heard nothing.
Yeah.
You just missed it in silence. Just everyone's just.
Just here's a few like kind of claps. Come on, boys.
All right, get out of your head.
Yeah, come on, lads. Let's put a brave face to this. All of us together, not just one person specifically. But like he is trying hard, and he's lightning fast. He has all the attributes, like, and he's getting a few assists, which is exactly what Torres used to do. He used to get assists, but no goals. So yeah, hopefully.
I think he'll come good though. He seems like it's because loads of the misses were like freak ones as well.
Yeah,
like, where it's just like he's having no luck. Like remember he cleared the ball off the line a few weeks ago and he was trying to score.
That was hilarious. Yeah, I think he'd probably come good because Chelsea look like they're about to come good as well.
They seem like a very positive club at the moment. Like since Tuchel came in, you don't hear anything bad. They're just winning. Everyone seems happy. Tuchel seems nice.
Yeah,
just everything's going well.
They seem all right now. I think they'll have a good push for it next season. I would say not this season, obviously, but next season they'll be a force.
And they'll probably spend big again in the summer for Tuchel. Like so,
they might do. Yeah, they might see a few people leaving as well. I think probably Tammy Abraham will be the main casualty there. I think he's going to go with Werner over Abraham.
Yeah, and
Abraham might find himself at probably Arsenal. To be honest, he'll probably end up fucking Arsenal.
He'd be good at Arsenal, I think.
No one's good at Arsenal. Look at fucking Willian.
Cursed club.
Again, like we say, if someone was playing, if you had Bamford playing for Ireland, it's like doesn't matter if the rest of the team couldn't give a fuck. Like
you'd need Arsenal need like a freak like Ronaldo or even Bruno the way he was. Like United were like that until Bruno came. And he kind of just has a mental attitude that's changed everyone. Like
you do need someone to kind of lead from the front, which is kind of cliche, but like you can't have someone like I don't know Odegaard. Like he obviously he's a good player, but he isn't like a lunatic.
He's not going to change, like he's not going to change anyone's attitude. Like
to be fair, like when Bruno came in, he was like 22, 23. He wasn't like this grizzled veteran. Like Cavani is the same way, but he's 33, 34.
Yeah,
scored rakes goals for Napoli and PSG. Played in.
He's like Napoli's all-time scorer.
Yeah, like he's been in big games before. He knows what it's like. Whereas Bruno came from Sporting, was it?
Sporting. I think he was 26. He was their captain.
Yeah, is he 26?
Yeah, 26.
I thought he was like 23.
No, 26. He's a bit older than her.
Oh, fuck, right.
Still young enough. Like he's younger than me now.
Oh, yeah. Younger than both of us. I tell you what, he doesn't look 26. Fucking hell.
No, he doesn't. That's probably because he's just so stressed all the time with how serious he takes football.
Yeah.
Relax, man. You don't have to score every game, bro.
The last game then was West Ham, Sheffield. Big win for West Ham, who in the first episode I predicted would fall away. They didn't have it, and
I've been backing them to the death. I think they're savage, great team.
They've continued to, just win games, score goals.
They're way up there. It's mad that they're still.
Yeah, I did. I predicted that they would not sustain this pressure and that they were going to fall away like they always do. Well, not them specifically, but there's always a team that achieves above what they should, and then they kind of fall away. And it's
like Southampton did this year.
Yeah, Southampton or Wolves. Even like, oh, the Wolves look like they get top 4, and like, nah, they're a Europa League spot. But Declan Rice, the former Irish international, scored a goal. Good for him, I suppose.
Great player. He's so good.
He is pretty fucking good. To be fair, he's really good.
Great player. Think he moves and think he goes somewhere in the summer, Mr. Rice?
I don't know. Who needs him? Not
Chelsea Lampard wanted him. You see.
Lampard wanted him, and that was the undoing of him. I think they didn't want to re-sign that youth product for an exorbitant fee. Like
they didn't want to do a Pogba.
Yeah, they didn't want to do a Pogba because it's a bad look if it doesn't work out because people will just rub your face in it for the rest of your life. And I mean, it's people's jobs at Chelsea.
Rest of your life.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say life, but like the rest of your career at Chelsea, especially as a Abramovich. Can you imagine that morning meeting with Abramovich? So I see Declan Rice is injured again. Well, that's okay. He scored 1 goal this year, so that's good. That's a good return on investment. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did we have a Declan Rice in our academy before, or is that a different Declan Rice? No, it's the same. It's the same Declan Rice. Oh, and we bought him for 140 million. You say, yeah, 140 million. So we let him go for nothing. No. Sorry, Frank. I want to get this right. I want to get the numbers right. 140 million minus 0 million plus 1 goal. We'll take that off the tally, shall we? Yeah. Well, yeah. That's good, isn't it? It's fine though, because it's my money. Whatever, Frank.
I'm just billionaire. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Now get off my yacht.
They were trying to avoid that. They're trying to avoid that win, but no. West Ham are still kicking. They're still alive and kicking up to 5th. I do think they're not going to finish in Champions League, but Europa League they could finish ahead of Liverpool.
Yeah. Well, the way Liverpool played in the Champions League, then I think they might have something still left in them.
That is all the Premier League games that happened the weekend. I'm going to stick with my prediction of City win the league.
Yeah, controversial. Also sticking with City win the league by quite some margin.
I'm not going to sit in the fence like some pundits. I'm going to call it as I see it, and I see City winning this league.
Huge.
Sheffield and West Brom to get relegated, and I hope and wish for them the best in their struggle to get out.
Please.
Josh Maja to finish the season with. He only has 2, so I'm going to say he finishes with 12 goals.
Not a chance.
12 goals.
Not a chance. 6.
How many games left? There's 24 games played. Minus how many games? 38 games is there?
14 games left.
14 games left. Oh, yeah.
You think he's going to score nearly a goal a game?
Nearly. Yeah. Well, I think they would need that to stay up because they're so far off Newcastle and Brighton. They would need them to really come good for them, and I think Josh Maja is the only one who's looked like he might do that. Yeah. Then the other thing is, like I say, Tuesday there's some Champions League games on last night, and as you mentioned, Liverpool had a bit of a resurgence against
Leipzig. Leipzig have. I don't think I've ever watched a Leipzig game and been too impressed by them. I don't know how they always end up in these games, how they always get through everything. They just get hammered every time I watch them. United scored 8 goals against them in 2 games in the group stage.
Yeah, they hammered them actually. I was come to think of it. But they looked like they were playing without Timo Werner. Is all I can describe them. They weren't playing with strikers. They're playing with like 2 midfielders up front, and they're kind of like positionless all over the place. And
Yeah,
I had a few
never
chances early
played.
on, but they kind of died out the game there a bit. Made 2 mistakes, which I think was probably refreshing for Liverpool to see other teams make mistakes and then capitalizing on them immediately. They won that game 2-0. And I don't know if you've seen this. I've seen it already. This chat starting of, should Liverpool concentrate on winning the Champions League and not getting top 4? It's like they're so far off winning the Champions League. Like, it'd be easier to like it is kind of like, yeah, you'd rather win the Champions League and get in that way.
Yeah, but if you're just talking, so hard. Yeah, they've only done it 6 times ever.
If you're talking money and brass tacks of like, oh, the Champions League is money, you need the money, then it's way more important to focus on
top 4.
Top 4. But I mean, as a club and winning something, yeah, if you could win the Champions League and finish 7th and qualify, that's obviously the perfect scenario. But,
or, they're a professional club. Do both.
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
I will say, because of the injuries and the not having Van Dijk, I couldn't see them do either, to be honest. At this point.
I think they'll get top 4 still. I do think they'll pull it off.
Yeah.
They're far off. Yeah, I think they'll edge it at the end. That's my bold prediction.
That is a bold prediction, honestly. I mean, I think Chelsea and West Ham. I think West Ham are playing better than them.
No, I think Liverpool nick it at the end. I think it'll be Leicester, United, City, Liverpool, top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed it. We could have opinions on this show without guaranteeing them. But if you want to go and guarantee it, you go for it.
If I'm thinking guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Chalk it down. We may set up a guarantee board.
Yeah, we should. We can. Yeah, there we go. A new segment.
I said, stop listening.
Yeah, and then the other game was the big one, Barca versus PSG. The last one I played was the Remontada, which in Spanish is the name they have for a comeback.
But it doesn't even seem that historic. Like, it seems weird.
But the repercussions of it were huge, because that's when I think 5 months later after that game, PSG bought Neymar for 220 million. A record. I don't know if it's ever going to be broken. I mean, that is ridiculous. That's money to pay for a player. They beat Barcelona 4-1. I saw people kind of blown out of the water. They're like, this is maybe even more embarrassing than the 8-2. I was like, okay, first of all, it's not more embarrassing than the 8-2. Absolutely not. They were just...
It's half as much goals.
Like, the game last night, it was a really good game. Like, Barcelona weren't, like, pinned back in their own half and couldn't get it out.
Mbappe was just the best player I've ever seen.
Yeah, like, they had, like, possession and they were creating chances, and PSG defended really well, and they were playing Verratti kind of up front, not up front, but further forward. So he was, like, pressing, like, really far forward. So that's where they got their release to Mbappe. And every time they went forward, PSG looked like they were going to score. Whereas last year against Bayern Munich, like, they didn't look like they could even hold on to the ball for more than 10 seconds. Like, they were totally eviscerated. And Bayern did score every time they went forward. It wasn't like they looked that way, and they did. So it wasn't as bad as Bayern last year, but Barcelona are fucked, man. Yeah,
they're nowhere close to what they used to be. Because I think it's Messi doesn't want to be there, and the whole team revolves around Messi. Like, the whole club does. So
yeah,
and he's gone. Like,
but even the fucking, like, I think they're $500 million in debt.
Yeah,
or not in debt, but they've lost $500 million this year, and that's like a total reverse. Like, you talk about like a 3-goal turnout. Like, they were the most profitable club to go from that to $500 million debt. I think it's one of those things that affects the top clubs more. Like, how many stadium tours and merchandise does Barcelona sell to? If you were to go on holidays to Barcelona, you'd stop by the stadium. You'd probably buy a shitty fucking Barcelona knick-knack or whatever.
I have a picture with a cardboard cutout of Messi somewhere in my house, I'm nearly sure.
Yeah. Whereas, like, someone like...
Those things probably cost money, though.
Whereas how many stadium tours do you think Sheffield do daily? You know what I mean? Like, they haven't lost any of that money. That money's ever coming in. Whereas, like, Barcelona are such a big touristy club that that's all being eviscerated, but they're still paying the wages based on them being that profitable club.
I think they missed wages as well. Like in January or something. I think they didn't pay anyone's wages, which is... For a club that size to be doing that is crazy.
Yeah, I think Barcelona play like twice a year.
It's like a lump sum kind of deal.
Yeah, I think they get paid twice a year for their yearly salary, which, I mean, I thought it was hard to manage money getting paid monthly from being paid weekly. Finance paid once a year, man. Fuck. And then you wait for that money to come in and you don't get paid in January. Like, oh man, like, I had a serious Christmas. I had a serious Christmas.
Have you seen the size of my house?
I need that money. So, like, you think, like, last year was a bad year for them and they need to make some signings and kind of get back on track. And then, this year, if they lose, say, another 2-0 and lose 6-1, poetically lose 6-1 aggregate to PSG, like, where do they go from here?
Messi has to go, doesn't he?
Well, the only thing I think about Messi, like, obviously it's kind of Messi and Ronaldo, they're so intertwined in their careers. But, like, Messi is so different from Ronaldo in that he was in La Masia from a young age and has always been at Barcelona, whereas Ronaldo went from, was it Sporting Ronaldo, was that? Or, Sporting Lisbon.
Sporting United.
Then to United, then to Real Madrid, obviously, for long periods, obviously. But then, like, when he's looking at Real Madrid going, this team is aged a bit, I'm just going to go to Juve. That looks like a good team. Like, he's happy to kind of move on and he doesn't, like, he's
proves himself.
Maniac work ethic. He doesn't set down his roots. Like, he infamously talked to, remember that time he had people like, you're not very nice to Benzema or whatever. And he went like, I never spoke to Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs. We won fucking everything. And people were like, you weren't friends with Ryan Giggs? I thought everyone was friends with Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs. You know what I mean? Like, Van Persie was friends with Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs in the press conference before he played. I'm talking about Giggsy and Scholesy. But, like, Ronaldo's just not that player where he doesn't need to.
He's in it for himself. Like,
yeah, he can just, like, if you say Juve went bankrupt tomorrow, like, say if they were to start losing $500 million, he'd go, all right, well, where's the next team that's going? I still have another year and a half in me, top level. He's not going to go, I'm happy at Juve, I'm going to see it out. Like,
we're going to turn this around. He doesn't give a shit about turning it around. Like, it's not his job.
Yeah. Whereas, like, say, where Messi does want to be there, I think he does want to be there. I think he doesn't want to leave. I think he wants things to be the way he wants them to be.
Yeah, but
which isn't how life works, unfortunately, even for Messi or Ronaldo. Or Ronaldo's like, I wish they would just buy better players around me. He's like, well, they're realistically not going to do that, so I should go somewhere where there is better players.
Happen,
yeah. Whereas Messi's like, I have my family here. I've lived here all my life, more than I've lived anywhere else.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave. It would be great if they could do things to suit me. And that's where it falls down because they're losing money hand over fist. They need to freshen up the squad, which they already have, but it hasn't worked out. Like, Frankie de Jong has not been great for them. Griezmann is not fucking Neymar, that's for sure. Watching Piqué last night. Last night, he was not good.
No, but he's been there forever, like.
Yeah.
Like he played under Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
He's been playing for so long. Like, you have to replace these boys eventually.
You can't stay there until you can't run anymore. You know what I mean? You have to, like, because there's so much pressure on Barcelona players and the team to win. You can't let Piqué see out his last few years because of what he's done for the club. It's like,
no.
There's too much money on the line. Like, there's literally $500 million they're losing here. I mean, they need to win everything they can.
Yeah.
But there's players, even Busquets, who looked, he was never the quickest, but, like, Verratti looked a better player last night than Busquets.
Yeah, definitely. But, like, they peaked a long time ago. Like,
yeah.
You have to always keep it fresh. You have to have boys in the team that if I switched on the match, I'm like, I've never heard of that player before. You need those.
Yeah. Like, usually they would buy Ibrahimovic and it wouldn't work out, and then they just buy someone else and they just, like, keep the party going. But they've bought, like, Griezmann and they've bought Dembele for big money and it hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
And there just doesn't seem to be, like, the next round, like, coming in.
Coleman as manager doesn't seem like too good a fit. Like,
Coleman was there, Arteta, former player. It's like, is that really the answer?
Like, get the best you can get. It's like, get Allegri or something. He's won loads of things. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man.
Man, what about Mbappe? He's only 22. Like,
yeah, Mbappe was unbelievable.
That was like I think that was the first time, and he's had games like this. He's won a World Cup, sure, but that was the first time I watched him where I was like, oh, he is the Ronaldo, Messi lad, like, for this generation. Definitely, like, he's so good.
Yeah,
it just feels like he's a mile above everyone else, like, especially at his age.
Yeah, there's more Champions League on right now. We should maybe report them, even though this isn't a live broadcast, so it is a bit pointless.
Coming in
live, and we're not even going to release this today, probably.
Breaking news, and you hear this in a week.
What a cracking game! 3-2, Sevilla Dortmund, and Porto beat Juve 2-1. Yeah, so the Champions League, we might cover that at the next episode. Yeah, we haven't clearly watched the games. We've been talking shite for the last hour.
We will watch the games. We're not lying.
We'll watch the extended highlights on YouTube.
We'll watch the extended highlights.
And
There's nothing in this pod that you couldn't do yourself.
No, well, I mean, if you're lonely and you want somebody to talk in your ear. No, I think that was the last game. That was the only 2 games that was played, wasn't it, in Champions League? Yeah. Sweet. Okay.
I wanted to bring up friend of the pod, Roy Keane.
Is he a friend of the pod?
Started it. I've heard he might be a friend of the pod.
Roy listens to this pod? I would say this is a hot take. This is a prediction. I'd say he would listen to more of this podcast than he would of the Gary Neville podcast.
He'd hate the Gary Neville podcast. I also think he would equally hate this stuff. Probably, I think he'd hate this more still.
Well, probably because we've used him in the team tune. So, I mean, he'd probably be getting onto his.
I forgot he's in the team tune. Sure, that's why I should have said for friend of the pod. Yeah. Our boy, Roy Keane, started an Instagram and he's going for it too. It's not just like. It's weird. He's posting like kind of memes, posting pictures of himself, choking people during games on Valentine's Day and stuff.
Share the love or spread the love.
Do you think it's him doing it or a PR agency?
I think it is him. And I think it furthers my theory that it's all a bit of a show with Roy Keane.
The Roy Keane like character, I can't imagine him taking a picture on his phone and uploading it to Instagram. That's too many levels of things that he wouldn't like.
Yeah.
So it's either an act, which I think is more likely, or it's just he has a PR company that's just like, we'll do it for you. You have to do this for your brand.
Is that, well, maybe it's a bit hard to say it's an act, but like I think he just maybe gets riled up watching football. But he's genuinely a pretty chill dude.
Pretty nice guy. I could see his Insta being real, but yeah, I just found that so odd.
He has
every picture he uploads is so bizarre.
He has a dry wit about him, so I'm not surprised that he can be good at this. But when you see him, analyzing the game, saying that's your job, that's your fucking job, it's like, yeah, but I mean, obviously that's his job, Roy. We're analyzing their job. Like, obviously,
this is your job.
Yeah, like, it's a bit kind of overdone. Like, and he knows that. So he must know that. It's like it makes a good save. It's like, well, that's what you expect him to. Well, yeah, but I mean, you can still.
You wouldn't do it, right?
It reminds that of a scene in Mad Men where Peggy's like, it's kind of referencing like the way jobs have become more like positive reinforcement and stuff like that. And like she's having to go like, you never say thank you for the work, and then Don's like, that's what the money's for. It's like an old like 60s kind of mindset. Like, you do your job, you get paid your money, you go home, and you don't talk about depression. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You give your wife a lobotomy.
yeah. Like that's kind of old. Like, that's your job. You should be saving that. It's like, well, of course you should be saving it, but like we've moved past that as a society where we just expect people to do things. We don't praise them for it. We don't, because like, what's the point if you're not happy doing your job? If you're just like,
especially during analysis. I'm not watching.
Yeah,
that's the type of thing I would say. I don't want that on the TV.
Yeah.
I want the people to explain why it was hard, why it was good.
Like Roy Keane is entertaining. He doesn't say anything though. He doesn't like. There's no insight to it. Whereas and Roy Keane is the same. It's like he has a go at people and like, oh man, Roy is mad. Like that's what it is. That's the entertainment factor. It's like seeing a man get mad over football is funny. So I don't know Roy Keane's Instagram, real or fake, I don't know, but it'll probably be as
pretty good though, so far,
and entertaining as he is on TV.
Do you think we could get him to do our Instagram for us? He seems pretty good at it. Marketing manager for No Nonsense, Roy Keane. Not a very wacky week in football, to be honest.
No, we had a few crazy weeks. The games
it'll never be hard.
the games is the biggest thing. There's so many games on. There's games on right now. There's games on tomorrow. It's non-stop. I guess we'll be bringing you all of it. The last thing, well, not all of it, the bits that we see, but the best bits, I would say. Well,
some of the best.
Some
bits we remember.
Some of the best bits that will happen, we will talk about briefly on this show. That is our guarantee here at a No Nonsense podcast. As the name suggests, we're not going to mess around with all the news and the statistics and sources.
Boring.
Talk about stuff we have a brief understanding of. Get too deep into why Barcelona aren't playing very well. And
I haven't a clue.
No. We probably went a bit out of our depth there, and people probably would get mad if they heard it. That might require some editing on your part. But the one segment that we did air on the episode 1, which I feel might come out, but who knows? But for those who will never see episode 1, which might be everybody, might be nobody, is a segment I like to call Bandwagon Wheel. And we posted a video on Instagram how it all started, how this wondrous segment began. It's humble beginnings.
Easily the highlight of the show.
I'll tell the brief story again. It was when me and my friend, a friend of ours, Chris, we were in college and we were talking to somebody about football, and he was having to go with Chris about Chelsea at the time or whatever. And Chris did the classic, well, who do you support? And he said Barcelona. This is 2012, 13, like the peak of the Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, Barcelona. And we're like, you can't fucking support Barcelona.
I support the Chicago Bulls and the
the New England Patriots and but he kind of turned on his head. He's like, well, how is it different from supporting Chelsea? And we're kind of like, it's not really, is it? Like, it's just a team from a different country we have no connection to, who are the best team.
Speak a different language, that's it.
Yeah, it's just a different language. So we said, what if we did that with other leagues and we just picked a team at the start of the year? Obviously, well, not the start of this year, but start of the podcasting year for us.
Yeah.
So we decided on Turkey, and we landed on Ghostep in the wheel. Again, I'll post a video on the socials so you'll all see that we're honest here. We didn't just pick Ghostep because they have a great chance to win the league, because believe me, they don't.
They're 11th, I think.
But they had a big win, huge win at the weekend.
Istanbul.
Against Istanbul, Başakşehir.
Who are, I found out, the most hated team in Turkey, apparently.
Boy, fucking me they are. Fuck them. Fuck them. Play Ghostep.
Because apparently they're like state run or something, or state funded.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Something like that, anyway.
Sweet.
But
actually,
we got the big win. Unal Karaman is starting to turn things around for us.
I'm on the fence about Caramel. I'm on the fucking fence. 1 week it's good, 1 week sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. It's Caramel.
Caraman.
Whatever, man.
You call him Caramel. We call him Caramel.
Caramel. That's what me and the Ultras call him. The Ultras call him Caramel because he's
soft.
He's soft in the middle. He's kind of gooey. We're not really sure which side of the fence he's on. What is he? We call him Caramel, and it rhymes with his name, which is Caramel.
Look, this club didn't survive 4 back-to-back relegations in 2000.
Back relegation. We came back to strong before. We're back in the top flight.
We are right in the middle of that top flight. Literally, I think we're 11th out of 22 teams or something like that.
We're mid-table, and we're not
getting relegated.
We're not getting
We'll
relegated.
never get relegated back-to-back again.
Hopefully never again. I won't survive if we do. So yeah,
Who are we playing next?
Next week in the Bandwagon Wheel special, we play Fenerbahce.
The big one.
I love it. I love these big games. This is what I live for.
This is if you're in the Super League, these are the games you want.
These are the games you want. You when the fixtures come out every year. I look up
things you look at.
I look up Super League Turkish fixtures, which I do every year.
And I say Tepe fixtures who.
Yeah, and I make a beeline for Fenerbahce, Besiktas, and Galatasaray, and I say, fucking come at me.
And then we go to Istanbul. Where are you, Istanbul?
Yeah, well, Istanbul, I hope they relegate. I hope they go down again, bastards. But yeah, Ghostep are doing all right. We're gonna survive the season, and next season.
Well, if we take points off Fenerbahce, first, second, and third in the league at the moment are all level on 51 points.
Sweet.
And Fenerbahce are in third. So let's take them out of the race.
Yeah.
If we can't win, no one can win, Colin.
But we take them down with us. We bring them to our level.
Drag them down to good. That's how Ghostep gets wins. We drag them down to where we are. That's Caramel specialty. Caramel specialty.
Caramel specialty. Well, if he wins a game, we call him Caraman. If he loses, we call him Caramel.
The Caraman.
the Caravan. The Carabao.
Well, look, he's turned it around since he came in January, it looks like.
Yeah, he came in sometime during the season.
What do you think about Halil Akbanar's performances this season?
He's been solid. He's trying hard, and that's when when it's not going right for you. All you can ask for is him to try hard and run the lines, put in the work for your teammates, work for your fans, work for your manager, and that's what he's done.
Where do you think his best position is, Carl?
His best position, honestly, his best position is on the pitch.
He's a bit of an all-rounder.
When he's on the pitch, we have a chance. That's what's important.
Yeah, that's what I always say about Halil Akbunar.
Halil Akbunar, you have on the pitch, you have a chance. And that's all we need. That's all I'm asking for, just a chance.
When the fixture list comes out, I say, as long as we have the cameraman.
Well, I don't know what has to do with the pictures. To have the players. Why would they be looking at the pictures?
Because I look at the hard fixtures and I say, as long as we have Halil Akbunar and the cameraman, we're going to be all right.
Yeah. So that's your bandwagon wheel, folks.
Look forward to that every week.
Look forward to some more Gustep. How many games do they have fucking left? Well, they've similar amount of games. I think have more teams, isn't it?
Not yet.
One more team. So they have
21 teams in the league.
Yeah, so more Gustep coming your way.
Look forward to that segment every week. It won't be much different.
I think that's about it, though, isn't it? That's all we have.
Probably. Did you look at the clock?
No, not once. Not once. This is not time. This is not beat it out. Yeah, I don't know. I think that might require some editing, but I had a good team. Not a bad first/4th episode.
Definitely worth the upload.
Yeah. Well, look, you can hear it. You got the mics, you can hear it. So that's, look, for anybody who's on the fence, anybody who's still listening, congratulations. Anybody on the fence was like, well, I've listened to this hour-long tirade, but I don't know if I listen again. It can only get better.
It's going to get better every week.
It's going to get better every week. This is new for us. We don't do podcasts.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before.
Nonsense. Talking nonsense. Why should we accept somebody talking nonsense? Like, what would you say? Just why are you talking nonsense about us? Why are you talking rubbish?